took it that you all know who I am and you don't, so let's go for it. Okay, so I'm Elizabeth Hamilton, I'm an author. I have a book that I've written over there, it's based on my journals, so they are real life stories. When I write though, I write for you to learn, it's not a judgment on anybody, and it's not trying to depict fault anywhere, it's trying to learn from this so that we don't make those same mistakes again, okay? Now, I'll give you a little brief about my history with Manchester. I was born in Manchester, Duchess of York Hospital, no longer there now, but I was there. That's Withington Hospital, if anybody remembers that section of it. Okay, but we lived in Fallowfield, Denmark side. One day my mum did a interview. Well, she was in the audience on Kilroy. Does anybody remember that show, Kilroy? Yeah? Okay, so she was in the audience and she spoke up about the area that we live in, about my side, about things that the government were doing to interrogate the area, and also about the things that we can do as parents to keep our children safe or empower them that little bit more. Shortly after my mum did that interview, we got a death threat. And so we had to leave Manchester within 2 weeks. I actually thought my mum was telling the baby until she started packing everything up. So we went to Leeds. So I just run back, we're in Manchester. I went to all-girls school, Wally Range. I didn't want to go there when I had to go there, but I'm going to say now it was the best school that I have ever been to. Because moving to Leeds, I went to a mixed gender school. In these single-sex schools, you concentrate a whole lot more on what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying that I didn't concentrate on that, but other people influence your life in ways that you may not want that to happen. So I was in Wally Range, I was class prefect, I was house captain, very, very proud of that, and I was challenging this girl from my class, this girl called Ruth Lister. I love her to bits still because they say iron sharpens iron. Me and Ruth Lister used to always be challenging for top set in every class that we did, and we was always first or second in the class. It was one time we got second and third, which was a big shock to both of us. Well, yeah, so imagine being in that height, and I'm thinking I'm going to be a flutist. I used to play the flute in the choir as well as the timpanis, and the percussion section as well. So I had big, big dreams. Then we moved to Leeds, and within 2 months of us being there, I was gang raped and lost my virginity. Now at the time when this happened, I was only 12, and the perpetrators were all under the age of 16. Yeah, they were all under the age of 16 as well. So at the time I didn't do anything about it. When I say I didn't do anything about it, I did a lot. It's just I didn't do what was expected. I didn't go to the police and get these boys locked up and put into the system that was only created to hinder them, and that had been my experience. I'd watched all the movies and I'd seen what had happened to people that I'd grown up with from living in my side. So I knew what the opposite side of being going to the police on my own culture would be. Not only that, we were new in the town, so when you're fresh into the town, it's a bit challenging trying to make your space, and also the head of the crew guys that did perpetrate the incident was one of the most popular people. They were like the most popular people there. So anyway, those type of things, I'm going to move on from that. Those type of things are what we are here today to just grow from. We're showing you that we do have these experiences, life happens to everybody, but we can get past that, okay? It doesn't have to determine the way that we move forward, okay? Now, there's a saying out there, hurt people, and we all know that, yeah? But why not change that to hurt people can make people better? You know, I noticed Mark saying that he hasn't got an Ofsted standing to be able to do proper mentoring and psychological work. That's because Ofsted haven't got a clue how to deal with us. Ofsted, the whole of the psychological services within this country cannot relate to us. They can't relate to our passions, they can't relate to our inhibitions, and they can't relate to our aspirations. Yeah, so we've got to start doing that for ourselves and creating those pathways and those doorways and gateways for our children. Now, I'm just going to do a little bit of spoken word myself, because yes, I'm an author as well as a poet. So here is my poem. Right, and if you can just forgive me on this poem, because I did realise afterwards that I'm dyslexic as well. And I don't know my alphabet, I can't spell certain words, and spell check's brilliant. Okay, so this poem is called An Alphabet of Love, Doubled by Elizabeth Hamilton. What is love? It's about appreciation, it's about acceptance, it's about behaviour, it's about belief, it's about caring, it's about charity, it's about determination, and it's about devotion. It's about emotions, it's about empathy, it's about fruitfulness, and it's about faith. It's about gratitude, it's about growth, it's about healing, and it's about happiness. It's about inspiration, it's about insight, it's about joy, it's about just being you. It's about knowledge, it's about keeping, it's about lessons, it's about loyalty, it's about magnificence, it's about maturity, it's about nurturing, and it's about nerves. It's about opportunity, it's about observations, it's about perceptions, and it's about parables. It's about quintessentials, it's about quality, it's about reason, it's about rising, it's about time, it's about trying, it's about sacrifice, and it's about support. It's about us, it's about utilization, it's about validation, it's about views, it's about will, it's about wholeness, it's about excitement. Next X. It's about ecstasy. It's about zeal. It's about zest. How we display love is what we portray to our children. And they form their views on love with this as a basis. Are we portraying the love we would want for our offspring? Love doubled. Did anybody notice my dyslexia in there? I actually didn't even get the alphabet right. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is invite Asma. Okay, yeah? I'm going to invite Asma from Soul Sisters, and she's going to take us through a little bit of a session, just to uplift us a little bit more now, okay? All of this as well, you're going to get a little insight as to what she does at Soul Sisters, and she's going to give us a brief little meditation session as well. I'm really sorry, Asma, your logo did not come out right, but this will say Soul Sisters and empowering people, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here. This is such a nice event, and I've just loving listening to everyone speaking. It's been amazing. So I'm going to do a bit of meditation to start us off with. So just, if you don't feel like closing your eyes, that's fine. But if you want to just kind of look down, just so that you can get into it, that would be brilliant. So as we begin this practice, make sure, well, it says here, you're not disturbed, but obviously you've got children, there might be, but it's fine, just let that be, no judgment. So while you're sat in your chair, try to have your feet flat on the floor, and just be comfortable. Just be sure that the position that you're in, you can maintain that position long enough for this meditation. And be kind to yourself. If you find that you need to shift, do so slowly and mindfully. And when we meditate, it's okay to have thoughts in our minds. They do come. Welcome them. Meditations need not be a strain. Don't try too hard. Bring your gentle, non-judgmental attention back to this meditation if your thoughts do go off. When you find your thoughts have taken you somewhere else, let go of any expectations. Let yourself settle into this practice to benefit from this time of calm and silence. Once you begin, stick with it until the end. So close your eyes or cap them halfway with soft, unfocused gaze. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale through your nose and into your belly, expanding into your chest as far as you can go. Hold for a moment now. Now release, starting with your chest and then your belly, as much as you can possibly exhale. You'll repeat this 2 more times. Deep breath in, expand your belly, then your chest, hold, and exhale. Starting with the chest and ending with your belly. 1 more time. Inhale, expand your belly, then your chest, hold. Now exhale. Let your breathing return to normal. If you find your thoughts are wandering, gently come back to this meditation. Thoughts are okay, they will come. Return to this practice when you realize you followed your thoughts. Be kind to yourself. This time is for you. Let go of any judgment thoughts and allow yourself to settle into it. Focus, do this 2 more times when you're breathing. Bring your awareness to the rise and fall of the chest. Pause for a moment at the end of your inhale. Focus on that moment of silence. Now exhale at the end of your breathing. Focus on that silence. Now take 2 or 3 deep yawns. You can fake the yawn until one comes on. Let your breathing return to a normal pace. Notice the natural rhythm of your breathing. Breathe gently through your nose. So we're going to do a bit of a body scan. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. Notice if there's any sensations in your scalp. Relax the muscles around your scalp, the sides of your head, the back of your head. Move your attention to your forehead, eyebrows and eyes, relaxing them as you go. Relax your nose, your lips, your tongue. Move your awareness to your cheeks and let your jaw go slack. Relax the muscles in your neck, collarbone, shoulders, and shoulder blades. Move down to your chest, relaxing your chest wall, your abdomen, and your lower abdomen. Move to the top of your back, and slowly move down, relaxing each vertebrae. And all the muscles going down your back, all the way to your tailbone. Relax your right thigh, your right knee, leg, ankle, foot, toes. Move to your left thigh and relax. Then your left knee, leg, ankle, foot, and toes. Rescan your whole body, noticing any sensation. If you feel that any area needs relaxing, focus your attention there. and relax those muscles. As you begin this session, or even halfway through this session, invoke a session of sense of gratitude for what your body allows you to do in this moment. Thank your body for the good work it's done so far, and especially in this moment. You have all the strength and power you need to embrace this session. You move about your day in a calm and relaxed manner. Allow yourself to breathe. Your attention is in the inhale and the exhale. Stay focused on your breath for about a minute. Keep your eyes closed or capped as near the end of this meditation as you can. Keep your awareness on your breathing again. Allow yourself to feel in and out rhythm of the breath. In and out. In and out. On your next inhale, allow the fingers and toes to wiggle if you wish. Gently shift your arm or leg if needed. When you're ready to open your eyes with a soft downward gaze, keep your focus inward. Open your eyes fully as you're ready. You are ready to continue with the day. How is everyone feeling? Yeah, we've had lots of good things we've heard about and listened to, so it's nice to kind of relax ourselves and get ourselves grounded and be in the moment where we are. And of course, thoughts are going to come into our minds. Now, this is one of the things that I do. So my charity that I run, which is Soul Sisters Empowering People, is supporting people that have been affected by domestic abuse. And it comes from my own lived experience. Started this 3 years ago. I had to flee with my little boy, who was 18 months at the time. Stayed in a refuge. I'm now living in my home that I am, which is a hidden address. And through my journey, the things that I went through, the challenges with like the doctors, the solicitors, the barristers, and I learnt a lot, even about my own religion. So I decided I want to use all that knowledge and help people and empower people and make people understand that you can move forward with your lives. You don't have to be, downbeaten about things. So I'm really grateful for you to let me come here and speak about charity because I want it to grow. The charity itself is in Rochdale, but we do work across Greater Manchester. And we've got trustees, and the people that we support have become volunteers. We support women, men, children, and it's all about doing creative projects, self-care, meditations. I'm a coach as well. I'm an author as well. One of our trustees is an author, so we've written a book which when anyone buys that book, the donations go towards a charity. I'm going to share a clip from one of my ladies who's a volunteer, but she initially was a service user, and hopefully that'll give you a bit of a taste of what we do. But definitely come over and take a leaflet. So thank you.
Thank you for the meditation session. Did that actually? Were you relaxed? Did you actually get to that serene space? That's what we need sometimes. I felt the first section, it left us on a little bridge of heaviness, so brings us back down to just that rise again. Okay, so we got to a balance and now we're rising again. So Asma's just going to plug in her presentation. So I'm going to do a little song for you while you're messing. Maybe next time. Oh wait, can you hear this professional singer over here saying do it?
After being a victim of domestic violence in 3 different relationships for over 28 years, I was at a low point in my life, struggling with several different aspects of life and also suffering with PTSD, which I didn't realise at the time. I was jumping at shadows and I wasn't able to go out on my own. If someone got too close to me, I froze. I would forget to eat, and my personal hygiene took a nosedive. I couldn't bring myself to use public transport, something I still struggle with to this day. And I wasn't even able to answer my door if someone called to my house. I was talking to a friend of mine about how I was feeling, and she referred me to Asma, founder of Soul Sisters Empowering People. Asma gave me one-to-one support until I was ready for the group sessions that she runs. I attended peer support groups and a seminar via Zoom because of COVID. Then, when things relaxed a little, I started attending some sessions in person, a creative session and a peer support group. In the sessions, you learned about many aspects of domestic violence and the effects it can have on a person, which has helped me manage my anxiety and PTSD better than I used to. What's great is that there is no pressure on these words. If I wasn't feeling up to it, I didn't put it out. Asthma also advocated for me when I felt my doctors and DWP weren't taking me seriously. Took me through the correct protocol to get my work search switched off and helped me apply for PIP, my personal independence payment, so I could stop my encouraging and properly. I live in a better place, so I asked if I could volunteer for Soul Sisters. The support helped us through the difficult times that they face when someone has gone through, lost, and been through domestic violence. I want to help empower people, both female and male. I was so happy when Asma accepted my offer to volunteer. Most of the work I do is online. I help with all sorts of projects that Soul Sisters has on the go. I now feel that I have a new family, one that supports me every step of the way. If you or someone you know is going through domestic violence, I urge you to reach out to Soul Sisters and get the help that many victims and survivors so desperately need.
I know that we're time constraints, so I hope you did enjoy that. The video was so important. It's a lady who came to me who didn't believe in herself. She didn't think she had any skills. She was at a point where she wanted to, kill herself. But you know what? Now she's a volunteer. She's made a booklet for the charity. She helps so much. So that's where I want the people to be, that you do have skills, and recognise that again. And just lastly, I do want to say that one of the projects that we are running, we would like, at the minute it's a women's project, but there will be a men's project on it, and then children's, called Chorus of Power, which I'm working on with the director. It's a performance piece sharing stories of domestic abuse. So the ladies don't have to be directly affected, they can be indirectly know of someone. If you would like to get involved in that project to help us, let me know, let yourself know.
So, she's getting mixed up between calling me Naomi.
Yes.
Yes. My name's Naomi, but I write in the pen name Elizabeth Hampton. Partly because of the fact, like I said, I'm not pointing blame anywhere, so I don't want to stitch anybody up for anything. What I do want to do is just get the message out. So I've written a different name to just to withhold certain things. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. No, don't worry about it. I knew every time she was stuttering, and that's what the problem was. So you all can call me Naomi or Elizabeth. Thank you very, very much, Asma. We need this service. We definitely do need this service. I'm so glad that we're actually providing for ourselves now. Right. Ooh. And we continue. Right, so we're getting into our last hour now. The next person I'm going to bring forward is Keisha Adair Swaby. It is right, it's Swaby. Keisha Adair Swaby from Empowering Dyslexics. Now, I've known Keisha for, I think, 8 years now or more. When I first met Keisha, she was actually assisting me with my first business. And she gave me this confidence that I didn't have that assistance from anybody around me that I'd asked for assistance with my business. And when I say anybody around me, that came from Jamaica. That came from the places where my people came from. So it was beautiful being able to identify with someone and have somebody identify with where I was. Thank you, Keisha. Is that okay?
Firstly, before I start, I just want to say a massive thank you to Elizabeth for doing this. I want to call Elizabeth today. It's quite easy to say Elizabeth. And I just want to thank everyone as well, all the previous ones. How do I follow this? You know, Mark, this gentleman here, everyone has given such an amazing speech today. I just want to say thank you. It's been a fab event. Carol, everyone, Sandra's going to speak later on as well, Daniela, everyone has just been amazing. So yes, I just want to tell you a little story about myself really. And I only have 10 minutes, so a lot of it is in my book. The book is over there on the corner there. But I just want to give you a little bit of snippet of my story. So I was a little girl growing up in the beautiful island of Jamaica. Anyone heard of Jamaica? I guess you did. And I was really, I didn't know what was happening with me at the time. I was struggling. In school, when I used to go to school, I used to get beats in my hand for not knowing my times table. And that was really hard for me. Because the thing is, getting beat in your hand and you don't understand why and you don't understand what you can do to remedy the situation was really difficult. So I had a teacher called Sam Brown. He always smelled of crackers and red herring. That's all he ate at the time. And until to this day, I can't stand the smell of red herring. So yeah, going back to my story, growing up in beautiful Jamaica, I was just struggling. And I had many dreams. I had dreams of coming to the UK. I had dreams of being on the radio. I had dreams of being on television. There's so many dreams that I had. And one of the dreams came through in 1992 when I got the opportunity to come to the UK through my grandma and my aunt. So I came to the UK, went to Midland, started school, and within that school I was struggling because I just didn't know. Coming from the Caribbean, coming from the sunshine, coming to the cold, it was freezing when I started school in September. It was really hard. I got bullied because of the way it sounded, because I came from Jamaica, so they asked me to repeat certain things which I really was thought at the time was just a joke. So I repeated it, and I hated certain elements of the schooling system in the UK because I just didn't understand any of it. I left school, fast forward, left school at the age of 16, and I did not leave with one single GCSE. I was devastated. I could see the shame on my grandma's face when she drove from Manchester to come with my aunt to pick up that little envelope that you get with your marks, and when I opened it, I didn't get anything. I was embarrassed, I was ashamed of myself. However, I love the books, and I enjoy writing, and I love reading, but at times I was a late reader. So I moved to Manchester after failing all of my GCSEs, but I was determined. So I started college at Loreto College, which is just down the road, and I did my English GCSE language, and I passed it. Now, during that time I was doing that, my grandma had passed away, and I was going through depression really bad. And she was the one who was helping me to stay in the UK, so I had no status whatsoever, but I did not let that stop me from going to Loreto College. I went there and I got my GCSE, but every time, immigration issues, for anyone who ever had immigration issues, it's a stressful time. Every time I saw someone official, I was looking over my shoulder thinking, is that an immigration officer come to take me back and deport me back to Jamaica? Carried on, passed my GCSE, lost my grandma. At that time, I had no status in the country, no status whatsoever. I didn't have indefinite leave to remain, I didn't have a UK passport, I had nothing. Me now, take my bright self, one day, and I thought, I cannot go on with this situation anymore. I went to the lawyer that I had, it was a guy, Sam, in Longside on Stockport Road. Took my passport from him, he was like, why do you need a passport? And I was like, I just need my passport, I've got something that I'm going to do. I took the passport, went home and sat at my grandma's table that day, and I wrote to the Home Office in London, and I sent off my passport, outlining my details. I just didn't want to go back to Jamaica, well, not just yet anyway. And I remember I was at my grandma's house one day, and when the postman come, you can hear the letterbox go bling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and I was like, oh my gosh. Ran downstairs, picked up this envelope, it was a brown envelope, just the size of my blue passport. When I opened it, it was indefinite leave to remain. Now, this is what I'm trying to say, guys, that the see these authorities and all these things, don't be frightened of them. If you've got something to do, just do it. So fast forward, I started working for the GMB in Wally Range, GMB Union. That was my first job. Got made redundant after 5 years. But within this job, I was making so many mistakes. I was making so many errors. And at times I was thinking, what is wrong with me? I know what I'm doing, and sometimes I just didn't get it. And I had so many other amazing skills that I knew I had. But there was something that was niggling, there was something that was there. Spent 5 years in that job. 2004, I got another job in local government in Old Trafford, just next to the cricket club. And in that job, I loved it because I travelled the whole of the UK, England, Scotland, Wales, House of Parliament. Those are the places I got to go with this job. It was amazing. However, there was something I was struggling with on the inside. I had challenges. In the workplace, I was getting things wrong. I was making mistakes in my job. As Elizabeth was talking about Alphabet, there were certain tasks. We did local government awards, and there were certain tasks where we had to put all the local authorities in the UK in alphabetical order, all the certificates in order, and I used to hide from that task because I couldn't do my ABC. I couldn't do it. I was an old woman with children at the time. I had 2 children, now one 21, one 11, now twins, and I just I couldn't feel fulfilled anymore because I was struggling. They knew that I was struggling as well, but it did absolutely nothing. I went for promotion 4 times and didn't get anything because it always had a maths element to the recruitment process and the interview. Didn't get anything. I know 10 minutes is coming up. But within that time, I had this dream because when I came from Jamaica, my grandma used to take me to a relative's house, bless her, and I used to always see this cap and gown picture on the wall, and I always thought, what do I need to do to achieve this? And I thought, one day, I'm going to know what this is, and I'm going to achieve that as well. And I'm going to get my cap and gown, as these pictures were. So in 2016, I was suffering from depression, anxiety, and everything. And I made the boldest decision to leave that job in local government of 12 years. I had a family, I had 4 children at the time. And I remember driving to work, and I was pulled up on the road and crying, and I rang my husband and said, I can't go to work. I was suffering from anxiety and depression because when you start struggling from something on the inside and no one knows about it, it's a real hard thing to deal with. I gave up the job and I started university. I started from the bottom because I had no GCSEs. So I started from foundation degree, that's where I started from. And I passed that. When I applied, I got a conditional offer. And I remember sat at work and I was just like, you know when you do something at work where you're not supposed to be doing it, so someone come over, you just hide in your screen and just carry on doing what you do because you're not supposed to be doing it. Applied for it and I got accepted and I started my degree, passed it and carried on past a foundation degree and went straight on to do my top-up degree which gave me the full BSc. And I did that, and at the time, it was just, I was struggling at the time as well doing my degree, and the last few weeks I made it my decision to go and get my work checked by the beautiful lady that I made a friendship with in the library. And I took my work to Leslie, and Leslie checked my work, and Leslie looked, and she said to me, Keisha, I didn't know that you were dyslexic. Now, that was a moment that absolutely changed my whole life. Regardless of the challenges, I achieved a first-class honours degree, because that didn't let that stop me, and when I got that, everyone was saying, oh, you're going to do the masters, and everyone was like, stop swearing, I cannot take no more studying. And because I was leaving university, I only had that short space of time to get diagnosed, and the university was amazing. They helped me. I sat 3 hours of assessment, and when I did it, she said, you're severely dyslexic and dyspraxic. A lot of people don't even know what dyspraxia is. And when I got that, everything changed for me in a massive way. I went on to do my master's at MMU. But because I got that diagnosis, everything changed in the way of I got the support that I needed doing my master's, and I went there and achieved my merit and I graduated last year with my merit in health psychology, and I did it through lockdown in Canada with 4 children. I was in the house to learn. So what I'm saying to you guys, dyslexia, whilst I have it, I've now written a book. I do so many amazing things. The dream of being on the radio, I do radio now, I'm a radio presenter from the dream of coming from Jamaica. I do inspirational talks, I do so much. And you know, sometimes I look at myself and thinking, girl, you should be proud of yourself of all the things that you do. You should be. And we have this thing in our culture where we don't grow up and be taught not to boast or brag about what we do. But you know what? we have to recognise the things that we do and the great things that we do and pat ourselves on our back more and understand. But what I want to say to anyone in here, no matter the challenges, because wherever you go right now, what they say is dyslexia was 1 in 10, now it's gone down to 1 in 5. But I'm changing status quo to say it's 1 in 2, because I've been in rooms with 4 people and all 4 of us are dyslexic. And dyslexic people, we have different minds in the way of we think big, we have amazing skills, we are powerful in our visionary skills, the way we think, our creativity. But I want to say to you guys, if you're here and you've got any challenges that's going on, don't let it hold you back, because I've not let dyslexia, I've got even ADHD thrown in there as well. So don't let any of these. Danielle is here, she's dyslexic as well. ADHD is there. My beautiful Lisa, she's dyslexic as well. There's so many of us everywhere, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. For too long in the black community, we have been ashamed, we're embarrassed, we don't want to come out and talk about what we're going through, we don't want to go and talk about the challenges because we think that people are going to think less of us. But you know what? If you're going through something and someone's going to think less of you because of what the condition that you're going through, they don't deserve to be in your life. Cut loose, because you are great and you have greatness within you. So I just want to say, the book's there. Come over and have a chat, find out about my story, because I can't tell you everything in 10 minutes, and I've gone over way 10 minutes right now. So it's all in the book. I just want to say thank you so much, Elizabeth, for putting on this today, and to everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you. Was that empowering? Okay, we're going to keep it in that spirit now. I'm going to bring to you Daniela Edwards with another spoken word poem for you. After Daniela, we've got a maths teacher coming to speak to you as well. Now, I'm just going to point out that this maths teacher also home educated, which is a true inspiration for me, as well as working within the system and teaching within the curriculum. So she's got a varied experience on what she's going to tell you about numbers and our connection to it. Okay, Daniela Edwards.
I just think this is something that was really inspirational to me, especially being dyslexic myself. You know, it's great that someone's written a book and someone who I can relate to a similar background to myself. So this is my second poem on the subject rising. So it's rising number 2. When life gives us a knock and we feel flattened, life is simply creating space for us to rise once again. When we feel worn and shattered, in a zone of nothing really matters, as we put on fake smiles throughout the pain. Just like how the sun rises, we will rise again. Like how blood surges through a vein, synapses fire up all cylinders within the brain. Our generations, like ancient civilizations, will and must rise again. Despite the lack of hope, when there seems as though there is nothing else to gain, you are sure to and must rise up again. When positive words all sound the same and no longer caring makes you feel like you're going insane, even if it's the last of your fading will that remains, remember nothing will ever stay the same. Our spirits soar not just on one realm or one plane. Just how like you rose this morning, you can, we must rise up again. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not going to do as much chatting in between now because we've got to get through this within the next hour. So next person I'm bringing up is Miss Sandra Smith-Brown from Focus Labour.
Hi everybody, I'm just going to change sort of the position as to how everyone stood up. Me with my fast self, I'm going to sit down. Thank you. Yeah. So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Sandra Smith. I am a maths teacher of 31 years now. Before I go any further, I want to thank Manchester, the Access course, for giving me the opportunity to find my passion. Because like many of the speakers here, they grew up in Jamaica, and when you grow up in Jamaica, they're not messing about with education. Every single one of my great-granddaunts, they were teachers, so I had to follow suit. Thank you, Keisha. So I'm a maths teacher of 31 years in teaching. I'm a local maths teacher. Wherever I go, the children, they know me. I'm also a motivational speaker. You know, you catch me, I can motivate my youngsters, and I can empower parents. I'm a parent of 3 boys, and you don't mess about when you've got boys, and you have to educate them. And I've been speaking to a number of parents and carers here. Education starts in the home, and it starts with you disciplining your children and getting them into good habits and having a plan. And that plan is whatever you do, your children is going to model that behavior. So you have to model those behaviors as well. I've heard a lot of speakers amongst us. So before our children get out there into the streets, make sure that you're doing your bit inside the home. I'm also an author, and this was inspired by the children whom I teach. The children who I teach, and I speak to them on a one-to-one because I tap into what I feel that individual needs, what I feel that I need to leave with that child or with those group of children. And so I've written a whole series of motivational books. And those books consist of things that I know matters the most to children whilst they're learning. And it's to empower them, to build their confidence. It's one-to-one conversations that I have. And I say the children that I teach and children that I see in the community, as far as I'm concerned, you're my children. And I'm working for you, and I will do anything that I can to help you. So I've written a whole series of motivational books. You can see them on Amazon, it's Focus Lane Books. But I'm not just a book. I'm a mother of 3, a nana of 2, okay? I'm also an auntie, a sister, and I'm part of the Mosside community. I'm part of the community that I see here, okay? Now I just want to ask you 2 questions. Do you agree that maths is everywhere? Who thinks maths is everywhere? You go to the local supermarket, you look on the TV, everything consists of maths. Maths is a language, yeah? Just because it consists of numbers, maths consists of words, and you have to understand it. Now, I'm going to ask another question. How many people love maths? They think, yeah, it's the best thing ever in the world. Oh, I like to see the hands up, great. How many people absolutely hate maths? You know, it's with a capital H. Oh, gosh, okay? And how many people are sort of like, I'm in between? It's a love-hate relationship. Okay, I understand that. Oh, that's great. You know, the reason why I've asked that question is because as parents and carers, and as brothers and sisters, and as adults, how you feel about maths, you can also impart that onto your child or onto, you know, the young ones in the family. So if you don't like that, oh, I was never ever good at maths, oh, them numbers, that, you know, the MX squares and whatever. So, you know, you impart that without actually realizing that. Now, I'm going to tell you a fact. During lockdown, I learned something in my whole 30-odd years of teaching. Did you know that the minimum pass grade at GCSE is a grade 4? Okay? Now, when I was teaching the young ones, see, I'm qualified for 11 to 16, I teach the big ones. So I started teaching the young ones during lockdown. The maths that an 8-year-old was doing, 9, 10, I was astounded because it's the same math that they meet at the foundation level that at age 16 that they will need. Now, let's think about that. So what a 9-year-old is doing, they will need that at age 16 to excel or to get a pass grade so that they can move on to college or they can move on to university. You cannot move unless you've got that grade 4 and above. So if you go to college, you're going to have to repeat it. So I'm just going to say, bear that in mind. Saturday morning class at the Wesley Centre. That is going to be on the YouTube, the website. Okay, so I'll let you know that. The one big thing that I can say to anyone is, please encourage your child to read. Read, read, read. They read for understanding. They read to empower and enrich their vocabulary. Because that there, it transfers into the problem-solving skills that children are unable to do in school. Okay, they're really good at doing the number bit, but when it comes to the reading, the problem-solving stuff, this is where they need to build their confidence and improve on. So some of you are thinking, well, how do I get to contact school? I don't like school. I have 1 minute left. Find out where your child needs to improve. You can use your mobile phone. Please, I beg you to email the school. And I'm going to tell you one big thing. And I've done this and I can tell you that it works. Look at your child's work and see what they're doing. Because that there is going to be where you identify really fully what they're doing and what's going on. Okay? So I'm going to leave you on that special note. If you see me, I'm usually on the dance floor. You see me out, I'm dancing, come and talk to me. Email me, please do focuslaneBookCompany@gmail.com. Find me, I'm here to support you. Okay, there are more to me. This is just a little snippet of what I do. So thank you very much.
Just want to say, Sandra also works for Finding Naya, which is the charity that my books, Elizabeth Hamilton, sponsor with 25% of the profits. So the Finding Naya charity, I don't think it's my turn yet. Oh, it's not. I'm skipping ahead. I'm so sorry. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. Next, we have... next we've got Lisa Samuels, who's going to talk about empowering yourselves. Okay? Lisa is well known in the community, and she also is a life coach at the moment. She works with Flourish Together, which I'm going to give them a big shout out now, because Flourish Together are the first organisation that I've ever assisted finding Naya. Blinded Faith being the second. So thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. Thank you for all coming. It's been a lovely afternoon so far, so good afternoon everybody. Some faces I know, some faces I don't. I'll try and be a bit short and sweet. I've got some adult auntie responsibilities after this, so that's why I'm just coming in to add, contribute and just share a little bit about myself really. So as Naomi says, I'm Lisa, otherwise known as Life Coach Lisa. My background is in life coaching, youth and community work, mentorship, helping children, adults, all about supporting them really to achieve their life goals, help them to develop in a personal development sense. So I can relate to a lot of what's been said in regards to the dyslexia. I'm dyslexic myself, and I've had some challenges over my short space of time on this earth so far, but within education, it's been really difficult with basically putting my words onto paper, putting my ideas down and reaching my life goals. But I have had some success stories as well, so I can resonate with the difficulties that individuals face. So I'll just give you a little bit of backdrop about myself. I'm on my third entrepreneurship venture right now. The name will be Successful Overcomers. So it's all about supporting individual. I work with adults mainly. I have done work with the young people in the past, like I said. For 18 years now, I've been working with young people, adults and families in many different capacities. I've done youth work within the realms of this old building being Mossad Powerhouse. I've also done some support within youth work in actual schools, outside of schools, churches. I've taught in secondary schools, high schools, universities and sixth forms. So I've got a diverse experience and I'm all about developing that young person or the individual, so to speak, based on my own experiences of challenges. So my first business venture was about helping individuals, like I said, but young people 11 to 16, and that was under the banner company of Me1, Positive Personal Development Limited. Some of you might have heard about it over the last 10 years or so. I moved on and ventured into working with women in business because that was kind of a niche and need area. So I supported women in business, wanting them to kind of meet their life goals, which was about business startup, helping them to find overcome their challenges and find their ways and the paths to starting the business. I also do public speaking because I've got a basic enjoyment area for it and a talent and gifted area for it, so I'm just easy to talk and share my news and information out. So I'm all about providing that individual with life skills, helping the individual to develop themselves in a personal capacity. Also, alongside that is developing them in a professional capacity, so it's all about helping the individual to start from A and reach to B, and I'm the person that's in between and help them, support them, mentor them, coach them, and things like that. So my last business that I'm now venturing on, alongside being an author myself, amongst some fantastic authors in the room, giving me more inspiration to finish my book that I have been writing for the last 10 years, I think. So, yes, I'm grateful and thankful and very inspired that there is a lot of authors within our community. I'm a great believer that the Mossad community and neighbouring communities have some fantastic skills and talents that are just not really highlighted, nor are they supported, nor is it pursued based on our culture, based on our ethnic background in itself in terms of aspirations. So I'm all about helping that individual to really help them to achieve their life goals, whatever that looks like to them to reach success. I'm all about helping them reach success. And my last business that I was working on over the last 2-3 years was all about helping adults again in entrepreneurship, helping them to fulfill their life goals in business and also to be successful in their achievement. So that's a little bit about myself. Again, the dyslexia, I have to keep touching on it because it's always been and is a barrier sometimes to my progressive success overall. Although I still do achieve, it's still been a barrier. And I just want to highlight that I've got a tutor in the house from university who was a great support for me going to university at Manchester Metropolitan University. A few years back now, in 2007 I graduated, and I was very happy and grateful that I graduated and was able to, based on the support that I received from my tutors, because like you said, Keisha, there was journeys for the whole 10-15 years of my education that I slipped through the net, and there's many children now that I support in schools in my teaching that still slip through the net, not identified, and unfortunately they've got some great aspirations, great goals, great skills, and they just don't get supported. So that support that was identified and the need, and I pursued it with the support, and I was very happy for it, and hence why I can now go on and reach my life goals and be, reaching my own success. So just wanted to highlight that there is some great people out there that do support you in our community and are in great places that can do great things. So just continue to shine, as your theme is, keep shining. Yeah, I just want to give you thanks for that, Diane. So this new banner, Successful Overcomers, as I said, is all about supporting adults, helping adults to reach their success, whatever that looks like for them, building self-confidence, self-belief, motivation, empowerment, all the skills that were probably highlighted already and discussed that is significant in order to help an individual to overcome their challenges in life and be successful. So just keep connected. As I said, it's a new brand that I'm developing, but you will also know me as Life Coach Lisa. And if you're willing to connect and see how we can group together or work together to meet the needs of individuals, adults, children, I'm always willing to be connected. So thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. See, we have mentors in the house who have said, get you a mentor, find you a role model. I'm actually providing a palette of them for you right here today. Okay? Now, moving on. Gabriel, we're going to have one more.